Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I'm super happy to be with you here today after a week of my absence due to illness. So I am still powering through the tail end of COVID, which I brought back home with me from my latest trip. And I'm very thankful for a mild case as these things go. But I definitely am glad to not be sleeping today. Lord have mercy. I felt like Rip Van Winkle. I was just sleep, sleep, sleep. And that seems to be the universal response to COVID is lots of sleep. So I'm grateful for rest and grateful for health that is returning. Hey, Susie, I'm glad you're here with me live today. So let me get my computer, make sure I'm seeing what you're seeing, that I'm in camera, and all is well. So hopefully you are doing well today and as we approach a weekend. So today I'm going to feature Lovely and Linen Sweet. Thursdays is when I do simple stamping, and then we step it up a bit. And I really, really like this suite. So this to me has everything. It has beautiful paper with small patterns. And I like those small patterns because I find them really easy to work with. And this stamp set, which comes as a bundle as well, which means you get 10% off when you buy the stamp set and the punch. A good label punch is worth its weight in gold. You can use this for any of your paper crafting. This works for 3D items. It works for your scrapbooking. It works for card making. It's a great size. I love this. And then your stamps, look at that stamp set. This is great for beginner crafters. Look at all of the greetings you have. And you have some really nice stamped images as well. And if you are a casual crafter, maybe you're not an addict like some of us, but you do some crafting, this is an ideal stamp set for you. So if you're going to get the stamp set, I highly recommend getting the bundle because then you save your 10%. So let me show you. This is on page 24 and 25 of the annual catalog. It's one of our new suites. So let me show you a little bit of the paper, and then we're going to dig into some stamping. Our simple stamping for June, the challenge that Stampin' Up! Releases for us is Stamps Ink paper and Designer Series paper. And seriously, Designer Series paper is my second favorite item next to stamps only. So I think that, Designer Series paper is a must-have in our crafting stash. I think it's hard to have too much of it, and I absolutely love using it. Michelle, thank you for your well wishes with the COVID. The good thing is I will now have a lot of natural immunity. And, it's funny because my husband and I were together on a trip and he didn't get it and I did. A lot of people who were on the trip, I don't know if we picked it up at the hotel or if just a whole bunch, there were about 80 of us demonstrators together. Whether somebody brought it, who knows. But at the end of the day, a lot of us got it. Thankfully, none of us had became super, super ill. So these patterns, like I said, they're just small patterns, really easy to work with. The quieter patterns on the back are equally easy to work with. I really, really like this paper. So let me show you what we're going to do with it today. We're going to use just a little bit of it. We're going to use the Sweet Sorbet color, but we're going to go a little bit off grid from this color scheme. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going with this. So I've shared this before. I can share it again. But this is the color coach that Stampin' Up! Releases for us. And I love these for developing color schemes. So I wanted to use this piece of paper, and this is almost all Sweet Sorbet with a little bit of pale papaya. So I went here and I discovered that Sweet Sorbet looks really good with cherry cobbler. So I thought that would be a nice, strong, contrasting color scheme. So let's see, of course I don't have, here we go. I have this, and I think I need some dimensionals, and that's probably all I need. Super easy. Oh, I need a bone folder. what we oftentimes call a top fold. And I'm going to do these side by side because I'm going to make two cards. I'm going to do one simple and one stepped up. This is our thick basic white cardstock, and you might wonder why we have thick and regular basic white cardstock. And that's because this is the weight of the thick is the same weight as our colored cardstock. Perfect for card bases. Our regular white cardstock is thinner. It's made for layering. It's actually really brilliant the way that Stampin' Up! Has done that. So I use them both in large amounts. Now I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put this here. But I want to go ahead and stamp my image first because I want to cover up the stems with the Designer Series paper. So what I'm going to do is I've got two of these panels, and these are 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to use my Sweet Sorbet. And when you're using these large stamps, I do like to ink them upside down. I find it much, much easier to work with. Now I'm going to angle this so that I get a large amount of this beautiful, beautiful flower image right there. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to do it again here so that I can do these side by side, simple and stepped up. So this is just Stamps, Ink, and Paper plus Designer Series paper. Now I think I don't need my Sweet Sorbet again, so I think I can go ahead and close that up. And now I'm going to go in and put my Designer Series paper down. That's going to help me figure out where I want the rest of my stamping to be. So let's go ahead. And I think it's going to also help me if I go ahead and put the cherry cobbler layer behind it, because then I can see that contrast, which is what I'm hoping. See that? I like that contrast a lot. So this is cherry cobbler, basic white. I really like them together. Different shades of red. This red and white is a really nice combo, very classic. Can kind of go any time of year. So this is a 5 1/4 by 4 layer of cherry cobbler on top of a card base. See how that's coming together? Red and white stripes, kind of. You could actually do this as a red, white, and blue card as well. So if you incorporated Night of Navy, and actually, I was going to incorporate a little bit of, I think I'm going to need to bring that down a little bit. This is going to have to be cut. I thought I would get smart and cut that ahead of time, but I cut it too big, or I didn't bring this up high enough is probably what I did for what I had in mind. But that's okay. We're going to have just a little strip of the Designer Series paper. So I'm glad to see we've got more folks that are gathering with us today. I appreciate you tuning in. Now, I think this, I'm going to just cut that in half. I think that this is about 1.5 inches. Let's see, I've got my little mini chopper right here. I'm gonna use just a little piece of this. Oh, that's 2, okay. So we'll just bring it down to 1 inch. And you know, sometimes even just a little strip of Designer Series paper can add so much. Ah, yes, that's exactly what I was wanting. Oh, look at there. I'm going to bring it like that. Try to cover that stem, the bottom of that stem. Okay, see, look at there. If you do it with the navy, it has a totally different look. Okay, so this is going to go right like so. There we go. And this one, we're going to bring it like so. Now I want to use a little bit of the pale papaya that is in this paper. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab this little tiny, like a little paint spatter almost, stamp, and I'm going to add a little bit of this paint spatter. Hey Laura, I'm glad you're here today. Valerie and Cynthia, got a nice group gathered. See how that just adds a nice little bit of interest? And this pale papaya is just perfect. It's like the inside of a flower. Just a little bit of detail there. Now, my stamp, ink, and paper, I'm going to add my greeting, and I'm not going to use the punch. So let's see if I've got enough room here. You know what I think I'm going to do? Let's get a piece of paper. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do a little piece of blue. Now, I'm looking at this right here, and I'm catching that balmy blue up there. So let's see how we can make that look with a little bit of balmy blue to break things up a little bit. And we're going to do our oh hello. And by using a piece of cardstock, it's going to help me to fit this oh hello because I didn't have quite enough room. So let's go. I like the font on this a lot. Isn't that cute? Oh, hello. Isn't that cute? I love it. And I'm actually, I think I'm going to put it right there because then it kind of covers up my little stem. I like it. Now, I know this is retired, but it's probably my all-time favorite punch. I told y'all I would not get rid of it, and I have not. You can hand flag this if you don't have this fantastic punch, but I'm just going to do it like that. And I think I'm going to bring it down just a little bit, and that's it. Super, super simple. I love the colors, and I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. Now, the next one, we're going to use that punch, and we're going to step it up with a couple of other little elements. This is super, super simple card making, and that is just a nice little hello. A nice little hello. I could even add a little bit of, you know what? I think I'm going to add a little bit of blue just to kind of bring that in. You know, for me, things need to make sense in a card. And if it's just I've got the blue there and no place else, I think it kind of needs a little bit. So let's add just a few of the dots in blue. Let me grab my chamois. So let's add a few of these little dots in balmy blue. Oh yeah, see there? Just a little something, something. See how that just makes such a big difference? Super, super simple. Stamp, ink, and paper with a little bit of designer series paper. Hey Simone, I'm glad you're here with us. Haven't seen you in a while. So I'm really happy to have you here. So now let's take this same design and let's step it up a little bit. Now I brought in a little strip of this beautiful glimmer paper. This comes in all of the new in colors. And it's really fun to use. So I've got the Orchid Oasis and the Tahitian Tide, the Parakeet Party, the Sweet Sorbet, and the Starry Sky. So I cut just a little strip of this, and my idea was to put that right over the top there to give me just a little bit of shine, a little bit of sparkle. So let me bring this, and I need this to be 3 3/4, and I think I want the darker part of this ombre paper. And let's stick this down with a little bit of seal. Again, just keeping it really simple, but just adding a few elements to step it up a little bit. Okay, now let's add a little bit of stamping. So we're going to add a little bit of Simone, you've been working too much, I understand. Sometimes happens that way, doesn't it? So we'll add a little bit of the balmy blue. And then we're going to bring in a little bit of this pale papaya. I'm just picking up that little tiny bit of pale papaya that's in the designer series paper. Haha, here we go. Chamois. Right here. See, there's a lot of these cute little, well, a couple of these cute little background stamps, a lot of really cute little stamps in this stamp set. I think it's very much worth having and something you should put on your wish list or your order if you're placing an order. Now, this time, for Oh Hello, I'm going to stamp this cute frame, and I'm going to put the Oh Hello in. So let's start with Oh Hello, and we'll put that there. Then we're going to come, and I'm just using Night of Navy, and I'm going to put this little frame right around Oh Hello. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And this is where the bundle really just shines. So now I'm going to take my, look at that. Isn't that just terrific? And of course you can use this punch with this little frame or without. I think I'm going to bring that right up like so. And then we're going to add a little something else to it. You know, with that, it is a little bit patriotic almost. It's just that color scheme. I think it's very summery because there's a lot of white, even though we used sweet sorbet and we used cherry cobbler, which could get a little bit dark. We're keeping it light by using a lot of basic white. Oh, Susan, I'm glad you bought this sweet, or you like the sweet. Yeah, I think the punch is definitely worth having, and I think the stamp set is too. Like I said, there's just a lot to love in the set. And I'll show you, I actually kind of cased myself on this card, and I'll show you another version of this. Now, I thought that I probably would bring in these little elements. Let's see. Do I want to do that? You know, it might be too much red. I think I need a little bit of something else to break up the color. Let's see. Let's see what we can come up with. I could use rhinestones. Now, that would be kind of cool. That picks up kind of the pink. These are the, I think I like those. I think that's going to be the ticket. Let me check my other little, the inside the flowers look like fireworks. I think that's a great point, Michelle. I like that. And because they look like fireworks, I think we're going to add a little wink of Stella. Oh yeah. You know, it's hard to see it on camera, but that does make a big difference to your card. We'll do a little bit here and a little bit here. Now the other thing is, you know, when you use that wink of Stella, it will kind of bleed out your ink. So it kind of gives a little bit of depth there, you know, if you keep going with it. See how it's bleeding out and making that just a little bit pinky. I like it. Thank you, Michelle. That was a good call. Now, I think we're going to add, let's go ahead and add some of these. And then, and I like that because this kind of looks like a little bit of fireworks too. So that was a good call, Michelle. I like that. Now let's just do a little bit there. And then I think we're going to add a little bit of twine. Let's see. I think it needs a little bit of ribbon. So let's see. Oh yeah, we could do this one, or we could do this one. I think we're going to do this one. So let's do a little twine bow that we can add to the side of our label, and then that is going to be a cute little card. So this shows you how you can use some strong reds and still have a summery looking card. So we kept it light and fresh by using lots of basic white and using just a little bit of designer paper to add some interest. Let's see, where's scissors here? And I think it is a very festive looking card. Very 4th of July with our, oh yeah. I'm happy with that. I'm super happy with that. Let's see. Here we go. You said fireworks, Michelle, that's cute, and I made it boom. I made it go boom. There you go. I like it. Let's grab a mini glue dot and put it right here. And let's put this here. Oh, hello. Isn't that sweet? I'm really happy with those. So here's our simple card with just stamps, ink, and paper with a little bit of Designer Series paper. That is the Stampin' Up! Challenge this month. And here it is stepped up. We've added some Wink of Stella. We've added some, there's a name for those rhinestones, the iridescent rhinestones. We added a little twine. We added a little bit of the glimmer paper, added a punch. We added a lot of elements, but I really like them both. I think they work. And you know, it's hard for me to leave it alone sometimes. There is one more little, I wonder if I could just do that. One more little, oh yeah. I may just mess up the whole thing, but you know what? Sometimes you have to live dangerously. And you don't know until you try. So I'm gonna add one more little bit of stamping here. And I really like these little stamps here. You see these little ones here? Oh, you know what? Instead of the flower, let's add that little filigree. Let me put these away so I don't lose them. That goes there, and that goes there. Let's try this little, no, let's try that one. Let's do just a little bit more. Now, this is already on here, and it's, oof. I don't have a lot of dimensional under there. Well, I may have to pull the whole thing off, but you know, like I said, we're gonna live a little dangerously. Night of Navy ink is probably right in front of me, underneath my pad. Here we go. I think to me, because there's a lot of cardstock here, and just that little hello word, the oh hello is kind of small. I like it. There we go. Oh, and you're saying stamp below the words. You know what? That would have been good. I think I'm going to add both. Let's go with both, Michelle. Michelle's being my design buddy today. Oh, I like it a lot. Okay. Well, we went from simple and then we went stepped up. And I like them a lot. I hope that you will consider adding this bundle to your orders. Let me show you a couple of ideas from this. I actually have a demonstrator event coming up on Saturday, and this is one of the suites that I chose. So let me show you the cards we're going to make on Saturday, and you'll see. You see how I cased myself here? This is where I started, and this is where I went today. So that is another version here. And you can see how when you use larger words, and you see I also put my flowers up higher. It just fills the space more, and I think that was what I was looking for with this oh hello. So here is another one for our Saturday class. Here's one using 4 different pieces of the Designer Series paper. And then this one that uses just 1 piece. And then there's that pretty label again. I love it a lot. And just a really nice set of colors in this paper. And a lot that you could do with it. So that is how I'm going to love you and leave you today with lots of inspiration for lovely and lasting bundle. Definitely something you should put on your list. I think you could this would make a lovely set of note cards for a friend. So even this right here, where you have a hello, thinking of you, thank you, happy birthday, best of luck. I mean, there's just so much to love here with the colors, with the stamps, with all occasion greetings. I think that you need to have it. So be sure to place that on, add that to your order, and I will share my host code so that you can add your order if you're ordering with me. And Michelle, I'm so glad that Pat is taking you so you can join us. It will do you good to get out and about with your demonstrator friends. So that is it for today. Again, thank you so much for being with me here today. I've missed you a lot. I appreciate your patience with me as I have been cycling through some sickness. And I will be here on Tuesday for Teach Me Tuesday. We're going to be learning something fun, and I think I might actually do a holiday catalog unboxing. So we shall see. I'm still making plans, and I'm always open to requests. So let me know what you think, and hope you have a great weekend. Take care, and God bless.